Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got some more rank play for you guys to enjoy. You're going to be on Embassy using the assault rifle once again, just showing you how to rotate, how to hold on those power positions as an AR. If you are an SMG player and you think this may be useless, it's not exactly useless because you can understand how an assault rifle plays. You can understand how to beat them. Once you know how an assault rifle player plays, it will allow you to kind of find their weaknesses. So this gameplay should be for everyone involved. Hope you guys do enjoy the video. If you do, make sure to drop a like, and thank you to everyone because our support has been so crazy recently. We're almost on 2,000 subscribers already. We just hit 1,000 in the beginning of March, so thank you all to all your support. Let's get right into it. So as you saw at the start, I was I don't know what I was doing on the floor prone, to be honest. I can't remember, but we're gonna move on now. Going into P2, so P1 is always scrappy on here, so what I'm doing, my main kind of focus is just to hold spawns for P2. This P2 we can actually lock down a lot of time, and now what you want to do in an ideal situation, again I am playing solo queue, so it's quite hard to set up the ideal situation, but what we want to do is kind of lock down this left side of the map. If we have okay, so you see where I spawn now, tennis, this is the ideal space not to spawn. This is exactly where you don't want to spawn, and our enemies have done an amazing job of trapping us here and making us spawn essentially on the other side of the map. So to get your opponents to spawn on that tennis court side, what you want to do is you want to basically lock down the left side of the map, exactly what my opponents are doing here. So this is actually a masterclass, not from me but from my opponents, but it's alright. We're going to try breaking the spawns from the back here. So while my teammates are going from the front here, what I'm doing is being a big distraction from the back, and you can see I actually got 2 kills. So what that does, if you look on the minimap, is actually opens up the minimap for my opponents. But right here, it's a really bad start from them. It's actually quite hard to break this hill because they just seem to have a really good setup here. So with 15 seconds left, I'm not going to waste too much time. I'm going to set up for the new hill. This is your chance to kind of regain in this moment. If this happens to you, you're in the exact same scenario. No need to stress, just regain. The game is very early. Just make sure you're setting up for the new hardpoint, because if you don't, if you keep fighting for scrap, which I find a lot of players do, I feel like a lot of players that don't have a lot of competitive experience, they kind of just look at the hardpoint and just go for that hardpoint, and what you realize is you get into a bit of a blender. Your opponents start to set up to the new hardpoints, and then just time after time again, they're getting 30, they're getting 40 seconds, and then before you realize it, you're stuck in a situation where you're down by 100, 150 points, and it's maybe too late to climb back. But right here, you can see we got some good setup here. I've pushed out here, so what I'm going to do is just sit here with an assault rifle and just try to be that first line of defense. Just make sure nobody comes to the stairs, make sure orange is covered, and just try to be as useful as I can for the team. I got one. I'm going to back off now because I am weak, and again I'm just kind of watching the stairs here, but as you can see, it looks like our opponents have started to rotate. They've kind of given up this hill, so for me, I'm really happy with that. You saw P2 go my opponent's way, and just like that, we came back with the P3. So very important. That's how you regain. That was a perfect example. They did actually get the scrap time there, and they did manage to get the rotation as well, so that's quite huge from them. They sent 1 on the scrap and they sent 2 on the rotation, and they all managed to win their gunfight. So probably best case scenario for them, but again, we're not out of the game just yet. With 50-point deficit here, we're going to see if we can get into the new hardpoint. So what I do is I go around the corner. I got slightly lucky there that he wasn't watching me, but sometimes you need a bit of luck to go your way. I managed to get a 2-piece now, and what I'm going to do is just play in a little corner, play a little creddy corner, and just kind of use my sound cues and see if I can hear them. So we managed to get 1 at the back. Just going to back off here. Now looking at my mini map, I can see my teammates came from the right. They came from the middle and came from the right. So in my head, I'm assuming they're going to come from this side door. Right here, I'm just stuck on the stairs. Really, I don't really know what I'm doing now. I'm kind of stuck. Again, just kind of moving around, maneuvering around the map, just making sure I play my life. And I mean, it's going well. We got about 30 seconds of the original 30, so really good start there. We do get 2-piece, but my teammate does go through. Very scrappy hill, very contest heavy, and once again we go for the rotation. So they do have that early lead right now, but again, I'm not too worried. As long as we kind of prioritize our rotations, I'm sure the lead won't be very sustainable, because right now we're actually ahead of rotation, so I think we're playing this really well. So looking at the mini map, let's see how our team's set up. We have 1 player in the hill and we have 1 player on the right by the truck, and I really like where the player by the truck is. For me, you always need an assault rifle player playing there, because what that does is it basically watches the whole of the back door, and if you know that hardpoint, there's only 2 doors where opponents can come from. You can either come from the front door or the back door. So as long as one of the ARs is watching the back door, essentially we're funneling the whole rest of the team through the middle. So right here, this is my favorite spot to play, and you're going to see right now what I do. So the reason why I chuck a stun on the floor is, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but when you chuck an equipment on the floor, it actually opens the door. So right there, the door was closed. Instead of me pushing up, kind of opening it and getting rid of my position, I chucked a stun grenade. Just a nice little tip for you, and it actually worked out there really well. So as I was mentioning, this spot is just my favorite spot right now, especially for this hard point. I just sit here, I lock down so much time for the back, and my teammates just sit on the hill. Now right there, all they have to do is just kind of sit down and make sure they watch over the hill. And what I've noticed is, I don't know really why people do this, but if you sit on this back egg glitch there, and someone's on the hill, I feel like they challenge you every single time, because majority of the time when you're on that hill, I feel like your brain automatically kind of programs you to go towards the back of it and sit behind the table. And if you do sit behind that table, you're actually exposed from the back of the hill. So that's definitely a recommendation I would recommend you. If you are an assault rifle player, make sure to lock down that area, because it's just such a power spot. Now going over P1 now. So once again, speaking of power spots and positionings, I just think this is one of the best power spots as well, especially for P1. So we know that the P2 rotation is on this side of the map. So what we want to do is we want to hold spawns for that. So what I do is I sit up here with a trophy system and I just kind of peek out the window. But you have to be very careful not to get picked here. This is quite a fine balance. You can either, like, so right there I did get picked and I kind of over challenged. So what you have to do is you have to find the balance between playing patient and not getting picked, and then not playing too patient and not inputting to your team. And I really think that's what playing assault rifle is about, because some players play too slow, so they may get the stats, they may get the kills, but then if you're looking at per impact purely for your team, it's just, you're not very impactful because you're playing lanes that aren't as beneficial. And some players play too fast where they're not setting themselves up in the power position. So if you're an assault rifle player, once again, you have to try to get your timing right, and it just comes with practice. You can watch different assault rifle players. Someone like Accuracy, he plays very slow, and sometimes it helps his team because he can kind of allow the other teams to play like slayers, but then sometimes it does kind of cost the team because he's not getting as many engagements. And then you have someone like Celium or Dashi, who's just a bit more of a fast-paced AR. They kind of lock down the lanes, but you always see them with the interaction. So depending on how you want to play, but in my opinion, the faster assault rifles, a bit more posted up, are always the better options. Right here, we do manage to get some time back, and the deficit is starting to decrease. We're only down by 20 points, which is a really good situation here. Some great centering on the guy at the back, and I'm just watching the back here. I got slapped up by a trophy system. That's alright, happens to the best of us. With 3 down, this is a great position to be in. And once again, I'm going to start to worry about the rotations, as I mentioned earlier. Well, I kind of spawned on the hill here, so looks like I'm getting a bit of scrap time. Really good kill there on the second guy. That actually might have won us another 15 seconds. Absolutely huge there. So right there, the reason why I decided to go for old and not go for scrap time, it looks like that my teammates were kind of going for scrap and off the rotation because I spawned quite close. Looks like I went for one more time, and to be honest, it looks like it did work out. So right here with 4 seconds left, I'm just hoping my teammate goes big. I'm keeping an eye on the kill feed. The kill feed is very important because it allows you to understand essentially where the enemies are going to spawn. So right here, for example, 2 of my teammates did die. So in my head, what that means is there's at least 2 enemies on the hill. This gives me so much information purely just from the kill feed. So using the kill feed is very important. We managed to take out one by AC. My other teammate managed to take out the second guy. So right here, I'm just going to kind of predict where they're going to spawn. I know they're going to be on top of the building. Some great shots there. Managed to get the headshot, put the trophy down, and just like that, we've managed to get the hill. Now, where I'm sitting right now, I actually don't have time. And what I mean by that is technically, I'm not on the hill. I'm sitting on the head glitch, but this head glitch is so important. I always recommend you playing this head glitch because, first of all, you can hear the ladder. The ladder is such an important spot to cover. So, sitting here, you can hear the ladder. Second, you can head glitch here and watch back AC. Again, very important because if you want to get them in a trap, this is the best place to get them in. So, right now, this is a really good position to be in. I mean, with 10 seconds left, I should start to rotate, but let's see how I play this. So, I actually start to rotate now. I don't think... Oh, really good shots there. I had no right to win that gunfight. So, right there, my gun skill actually bailed me out that situation, but that was not a good play for me at all. I mean, my gun skill really helped me there, but overall, looking at that positioning, it just wasn't a good position to be in. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that 3-piece, because if I didn't get that initial kill, I wouldn't have got the 3-piece, but again, sometimes your talent does need to bail you out. But looking back, oh my god, I'm absolutely cracked. I'm even taking out my teammates. And once again on this hill, I do really like to play this top building. I feel like I've really mastered the AR kind of role on Embassy. Again, not saying that I get 50 kills every single time, but I feel like I've really mastered the positioning because I've played this so many times. I feel very comfortable on this map. Even playing solo queue, I feel like when I'm using an assault rifle, I can always be in powerful positions. So I thought, why not share with you once again? And I feel like I have actually uploaded this map quite a lot. It's one of my favorite hardpoint maps to play, especially with an assault rifle. Going into the next hill, I already know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up the ladder and watch the left side. Yep, there you go. I predicted it. I mean, I know it's me playing, so it's not exactly hard to predict my own gameplay, but this was taken a few days ago. But this is what I always do here. I always watch the left hand side. Like, I feel like it's just a very easy way to kind of take that initial control and allows me just to gain some information. So right here, because he's not coming from the left, in my head he's either going through the middle or he's flanking all the way down to the right. And so, oh, that was some really good shots from him. I actually didn't expect that, so fair play to him, but that's something to take into the next time. Whenever I play this map, I actually never see anyone sit there on this hard point, especially because the hard point is on the other side of the map. So I guess it it was a good kill, but maybe again, that's what I was mentioning, where that's not as impactful as he could be. I feel like he's quite reserved in the back, sitting on that building there. So again, he maybe isn't as helpful to his team as they want him to be. But just like this, we've managed to take the lead in the last 2 hills, and it's a really good turnaround from the team. Just going to push through one more time here, see what I can do, go for some pre-fires. This is a very difficult hill to break, and this is why I mean on this hill, if you can break from the backside, I feel like it's a lot easier. But with only 15 seconds left, I'm not in too much of a rush here. My main objective is just to contest 5-10 seconds and just make sure that they don't get the lead here. Going into P1, we've actually got control of the building, and we do get knifed. So things may start to turn here. If they can get some good time here, they can definitely chain P1 and P2. So the game is not over. It's far from over. But we've managed to get the initial time. Just going to watch the kind of crossover here. I know they're through the window. The trophy system is so important to put down. And as I say that, I get stunned because the trophy doesn't work because it was behind me. But that's all right. We go through. We managed to get the second guy. I mean, we're absolutely feeling our shot here. Absolutely beaming people on 29 kills. An amazing performance so far. Can we close the game out with 14 seconds left? Right here, all I'm going to be doing is watching this left door and making sure nobody crosses to the hard point. A very simple job, but a very important one. And with 3 seconds left, time is running out. Another opponent comes, and I get 2. Can we get the third? We get the third, and just like that, the game should be over. Yes, it is. A brilliant performance from the team. And near the end of the game, it looks like we dominated, but if you actually remember, they were in the lead for the majority of that match. So that's what I mean by staying ahead of rotation, just making sure that you're ahead, you're playing your fundamentals right, and the game will come to you. It's a very long game, hardpoint. It's up to 250. So if you're down 30, 40, 50 points, not to worry. Just make sure you're sticking to your rotations. This guy is definitely on keyboard and mouse. You can just tell from the flicks he was doing. But right there, 32 to 14. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. Catch you guys in the next one.